Okay, fellow babies, welcome back to Pachter Factor on SIFTD.net. If you are watching as a Patreon patron, you're getting it real time, and we appreciate that you are paying for that privilege. If you're watching as a YouTube subscriber, same thing. Thank you so much. If you have managed to figure out how to link your Twitch Prime account to your Amazon Prime account, we're getting paid. You're getting a bonus by getting the content early. So look at the show description. It tells you how to do that. Link your accounts. It's easy. You have to do it every month or so, though. So just remember to do it. You can wait till you finish listening to my wisdom before you do it. But please link the accounts. Question from Patreon from letter H. 1/3 of Triple H. Bethesda's Starfield and Obsidian's Avowed are very similar games. Starfield was just pushed into what was supposed to be Avowed's release window, so you expect Avowed will now be delayed as well. How far apart should the two similar games be released to maximize sales of both? Good question. I didn't know that. I mean, is Avowed like a space game? Is it?
It's not.
I thought it was planned to.
It's Obsidian's take on the Elder Scrolls, basically.
Yeah.
I mean, Starfield is just the Elder Scrolls in space.
But it's space.
Right. I don't think to most people that's big of a difference.
Really?
They're open world action RPGs, sprawling.
I know, but it's space. You don't think, I don't know.
There's a lot of crossover between the people who are going to buy both games.
I got to say, I never thought about Starfield being that. I know what it is.
Yeah, it's Elder Scrolls in space.
I know, but I am the guy who will not play the Elder Scrolls because I hate having to hit a dragon with my sword 4,000 times to kill it.
I mean, that's going to be in Starfield and all, but
I know, but somehow I just freaking hate dragon fighting. It's just it bothers me. I just hate it.
Yeah.
Where I'm okay because I'll have space laser. I don't mind shooting it 4,000 times. Does that make sense to you?
It's the hacking that bothers you.
I hate hack games. I hate
Hack
them.
and slash.
I hate them. So I it's funny you say this because I seriously have played Elder Scrolls for a total of 4 hours of my life.
Oh wow!
I just don't like those games. They bug me, and I freaking love space games. I love them. So are you gonna tell me Fallout is just like Elder Scrolls?
To a lot of people, they are. Yeah.
See, I don't think so at all.
Yeah, a lot of people feel that way.
I get that they are similar RPG. I get the whole dynamic of the gameplay. But I just I'm never interested in Elder Scrolls. I'm totally interested in Starfield. I don't agree with your premise. I get what you're saying, that they're both RPGs. I think your question presupposes that the same people are going to buy both. And I don't think that's right. I think there are people who like science fiction fantasy as a genre. And there are people who like, I don't even know what you call it, Middle-earth fantasy as a genre. And I don't think that there's that much overlap. So I guess it's like saying Star Wars and Lord of the Rings. Are those two games similar? I mean, they are, because you're fighting evil, but one is with swords and one is with lasers, and Jedi Knight, and it's just different. I'm a Star Wars fan, I'm not a Lord of the Rings fan. So I don't agree. I mean, and I think that obviously both Bethesda started on Starfield before they were owned by Microsoft, and Obsidian probably started on Avowed before they were owned by Microsoft. But I don't buy it. I think that market is more segmented than you think, and I'm gonna just guess here. You're a hardcore gamer, and by true hardcore that I would define as a hardcore gamer, you are one of the 10% of all gamers who's so into it that you'll play it in any genre as long as it's the kind of game, open world RPG that you like. That is not true of 90% of the people. They're I hate dragons and hacking. I hate it. Any game with a sword. I just hate them. A laser sword that cuts through something on one swing, I love. Too tedious to hit them twice. I want the rifle that will kill them in one shot. So you don't typically have that in Elder Scrolls. You got to hack. I hate them. So the answer is, how far apart should they be? 2 years. How far apart will they be? 6 months. Reason? Because Microsoft doesn't think they're the same game. And remember, I am not defining this in the context of hardcore gamers who are going to buy both. I'm defining this in context of Microsoft saying who's the audience for both. And so the overlap for them is a small piece of the two audiences for each, or the independent audiences for each. So they're going to draw the Venn diagram. If they were this, which is how you described it, you're right, 2 years apart. If they're like I think with about 10% overlap or 20, they'll release them closer. But they shouldn't do major releases month after month. So I mean, they should both be, if they come the same year, it should be March and September or May and December, something like May, November. But I'm going to play Starfield. I really like the Obsidian guys. I probably won't play Avowed. It's funny you say this. I don't think of those as similar at all, but I get it. I mean, I get you're saying RPG. To me, that's like saying a puzzle game. All puzzle games are the same, but they're not. There's Portal, which is a puzzle game that is different from any puzzle game I've ever played. It's just different. And it's just like, it's the first one I ever played and had to finish everything. And I had completion anxiety, and I had to do it in the fewest number of portals. And like, why? I don't know. Something about it, I think it was the high tech making a hole and jumping through it that resonated with me. Like, that was fun. And I mean, I completely understand that a Bethesda fan who plays Elder Scrolls will play Starfield, but I think that's more because I'm a Bethesda fan and I like Bethesda games, as opposed to there's a similar game from Obsidian, which I know they worked with Bethesda, but they're not the same company and they aren't going to make the game the same. It's a different experience. Now again, I'm a Fallout fan. I played Fallout New Vegas, so yes, and of the 3 Fallouts I played, it was the worst, but it was still good. And I played it through twice. I think annual is tough because it feels too similar, but 2 years is ideal. If I was Bethesda, how long between Elder Scrolls 6 and 7? 2 years. I don't care how long it takes them to develop. 2 years. You'll maximize your sales. 1 year you won't. I really believe that. It's not Bethesda, and I get that it's Microsoft, but Obsidian is a different developer. People aren't looking at the same. It won't play the same because Obsidian is a different developer. They're great too. I look at Starfield and go, space. Mm-hmm. I don't say open world RPG.
Right.
Like, I gotta say, the Call of Duty, was it Advanced Warfare, the one that you went to space?
Infinite Warfare.
Yeah, I didn't like that game.
I loved it.
Okay.
It's one of my favorite Call of Duties.
Right. And Call of Duty World War II is my favorite, and Call of Duty Modern Warfare is my second favorite. But I got into space and I was like, no, I don't like this.
I loved it.
Where you get burned if you get hit by the sun.
So it changed up the way you played so much.
Not my style of game.
Yeah.
I didn't like it. But yeah, I don't like fighting and flying. It was a dimension I'm not good at. I didn't care to master it. It didn't feel like a skill set that was repeatable. And again, the reason I really like Fallout as a franchise is I like figuring out what configuration of power armor is the best for everything. Which weapons do you carry? Because you're limited in how much you can carry. And so, all I do when I play these games early is figure out which weapons work the best. So I just have those. Yeah. So resource management matters to me, but I like it. But I guess it's like the poison-tipped arrow thing. Like, I don't know why. It just bugs me. I don't like shooting arrows. I like shooting weapons. I get that it's the same. The game mechanic's the same. I just feel stupid shooting an arrow. Where a laser that blows the damn mutant's head off, I freaking love that. Thank you for being a Patreon patron. I hope I convinced a couple more of you to join Patreon. Thank you. And I hope a couple of more of you joined YouTube as subscribers. Thank you. And I hope all of you link to your Twitch Prime account, to your Amazon Prime account. That's easy. And there's instructions on how to do that in our show description. If you haven't done any of those things, follow me on Twitter, you bastard, at Michael Pachter. Just let me know that I guilted you into it on Twitter, and I'll give you a shout out. See you next time.